smoking a blunt in the booth. Smoking a blunt in the booth.
You wanna complete, like, come on, be serious. Told you my twin, my fast and I'm furious. Call that nigga George, cause that nigga be curious. I know these niggas wish I run out of lyrics. I'm smoking on Za. Anybody care, I'm smoking it all.
Local up-and-coming rapper has been killed while in prison in Northern California. This is a music video from MoneySign Suede, whose real name is Jaime Brugada Valdez. According to prison officials in Monterey County, Suade's death is being investigated as a homicide. Brugada was found last night in a shower area and was unresponsive. He was pronounced dead a short time later.
If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
This is to Suade's mom, his girl, and everybody. This shit just made me sick, man, how the system is, you know what I'm saying? I bet the little homie never even thought when he got sentenced in Riverside Court that he was really sentenced to a death sentence, you know what I'm saying? By our own people. This should wake motherfuckers up. And it's sad, man, you know what I'm saying? That a person cannot be successful without the next man hating on them or something like that, of that nature. You know, it makes me really sad, man, because he was young still and he had a long life to go, and he just has shit going for him, and people want to hate on him, you know what I'm saying?
Before we get into this demonstration right here, let's extend our condolences to MoneySign Suade's family. You know, his mother, his father, his sisters, you know what I'm saying? Any children that he may have had. You know, I don't know if he had any kids, but let's extend our, you know, condolences to the family. And for those of you who pray, you know, extend some prayers, man, to the young brother, MoneySign Suede. It's an unfortunate situation, man. This right here, MoneySign Suede, as y'all can see, you know, he was a Mexican rapper out of California. And the crazy part about it is, like, he wasn't even a gangbanger. But if you look at him, and you look at the people that he surrounded himself with, you would think that he's a gangster. But he said it multiple times in his songs and stuff like that, that, you know, I don't bang, the hood just got love for me. Now, what I want to say about that whole ordeal is this right here. I understand there's a lot of young men who are not in gangs, but they went to school with, you know, friends and family members and stuff like that who have joined gangs. And these young men, they hang around their family or their friends that they grew up with who have joined gangs. And I want to tell y'all, for all the young men that do this and women, you are making a terrible mistake when you do that. And let me explain to you why. When you do that, when you hang around gangsters, you become a gangster. Even though you ain't been blessed in, you know, like how we do in the Midwest and down south, as far as like the organized organizations, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got to get blessed in. But if you in the gang, you know, you going to get, you know, beat in and all that old type of stuff, right? So even though you're not blessed or beat in to the gang, by you hanging around the gang, you are a gangster. No matter how many times you can shout it, I'm not in the gang, I'm not in the gang, I'm not. But you being around them makes you in that particular gang. You gotta understand that. So realize that that's not a joke. That's not something to be taken lightly. Because when the ops see you and catch you, they gonna treat you like you a op. They gonna treat you like you in that gang. Now, right now, some of you are probably saying, hey, hood educated, man. Like, everybody know I ain't in the gang, man. They know I just hang over here with these brothers, man. They know I just hang over here with them. Everybody know I'm not in the gang. And that's cool, but let me explain something to you. The gang that you hanging around with, when they go and put in some work on they ops, kill some, hurt some, beat some, stab some, when they do some type of violence to their ops, and they see you, even though you're not in the gang, but you hang with them, you what we call a soft target. Yeah, we know he ain't in the gang, but we gonna do something to him. Why? Because we know that's gonna hurt the people that just hurt us. I'm just trying to give y'all some game, man. Listen to me, young brothers. If you are partaking in that type of activity, cut it out. Stop it. Because when they catch you, they gonna treat you like you are op. Now let's get into this demonstration. They saying that the brother MoneySign Suede, and before I get into, let me say this right here on a lighter note. Man, that name right there, I'm talking about, I know I'm classic, man, you know what I mean? And, long names like that, that was cool, you know what I'm saying, when I was coming up. So, MoneySign Suede, man, rest in peace, young brother, but that's a raw name. I'm talking about, when I heard that name, I said, dang, MoneySign Smooth. Okay, man, this brother here, I just had to put that out there on a lighter note, right, y'all? But now, they are saying that MoneySign Suede was stabbed and killed in the penitentiary. They are saying that MoneySign Suede was attacked before he was stabbed and killed in the penitentiary. Now, there's one thing I want everybody to understand about this young brother, MoneySign Suede. From all reports that I done seen and all reports that I done got, he appears to be a cool, laid-back dude. He appears to be smooth. Give to his community, toy drives and stuff like that. Had a loving family, his mother, father, he raised with both his parents. Cool little brother. But just got caught up in that gangster, lifestyle and was portraying that even though that he wasn't even that. So, word is this right here, right? From all the reports that I'm getting, they are saying that MoneySign Suede, as a matter of fact, no, let's back it up a little bit. Let's understand why he even was going to prison in the first place. MoneySign Suede started rapping, started doing this thing, and realized that he had a talent. He in Riverside, right, doing the show, doing what he's supposed to do, right? He rapping. After the show, he leaves Riverside, or he's leaving the concert. He gets pulled over by Riverside police. They pull him over, find one of them pistols in the car. He ain't supposed to be around no pistol. Why? Because before that, he went to the county jail on a carjacking case. But somehow in that carjacking case, I guess they must have dropped the charges, and he still ended up doing a year in the county because, for carjacking, you're going to go do some time. They don't play that in California, that grand theft auto. They don't play that, right? So he ended up, getting the charges lowered, and he ended up doing a year in the county jail. So now he's a felon. He ain't supposed to be around no guns. So he get caught with a gun in the car. It's just him, and the police pull him over. They find the gun. He gets locked up. He bails out. Once he bails out, he doing his thing. He rapping, doing what he's supposed to be doing. Police raid his crib in LA. When they raid his crib in LA, guess what they find? Another one of them things. So we got to understand something. I mean, like, we hood educated, not lane related. We ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. If MoneySign Suede carrying them things, that tell us something. Even though he was saying that he's not in the gang and all that, but what you need this for? Right? Let's come on now, y'all. We got to be 100. Rest in peace to the young brother, but I keep it balanced. What you doing with this? If you ain't gang banging, you ain't got no beef. Okay, for your security for what? Who you into it with? You see what I'm saying? So he got caught with 2 of these. He goes to the county jail again. He bails out. But while he's out on bail, he's going through the thing with the courts and stuff like that, with his lawyer and stuff like that, and they give him a deal out this world. 32 months. And they gonna run the charges concurrent. Both of those guns. 32 months. Whew. Beautiful deal, if you ask me, because like I say, in Minnesota, 1 gun, that's 60 months. Felony in possession, listen, you need to be happy that the feds ain't came and picked up the case. Because when you're a felon in possession, if the feds want to, they can say, hey, look, we want that right there. And we finna give them 15. Ain't no 60 months, ain't no 5 years. We gonna give him 15. And we gonna give him another 15 for that other one that he had. We ain't running none concurrent. We running it consecutively. You see what I'm saying? That's how the feds play. So now he gets 32 months. Goes to prison, right? They sends him to prison. While in prison, he started having a little friction. Little problems with his own people. Right? Now, while he's having this little problem, they attack him one time. He survived that. It wasn't nothing too major, whatever. But he's reaching out to peoples. And he reached out to his girlfriend and broke everything down to her. Check it out. Now, as y'all can see, that is a letter from that's a letter from him that his girlfriend got and put on the internet. And then, as you can see, the other part I put in there because that was like some of the most important, that was, to me, was the most thing that stuck out to me when he said that he don't know if he's going to make it. He don't know if he's really in tune or he's cool with his peoples after the first attack. You see what I'm saying? Now, for me, from being in the penitentiary and stuff like that, that tells me a lot. Because if anything, you supposed to know that you are secure with your people. If you don't know that you are secure with your own people, then some problems going on. So, from what the reports that I'm getting, from what people done told me, this what they said how it went down, y'all. This young brother right here got back cool with his peoples. Once he got back cool with his peoples, they told him, everything is cool, bruh. Don't even worry about it. You straight. Everything is alright. Right? Now, once they told him that, he put his guards down. He wasn't alert no more. He thinking the first attack, they gave him some discipline. He's alright. And that happens in the penitentiary, y'all. I mean, when you dealing with gang stuff like that, sometimes you got to violate some of the gang members and stuff like that and get them back in line. And that's natural. That happens. So that's what happened in this case. I mean, that's what he believed that happened in this case, that they, gave him a little violation and then he was back on his square. But no, they was rocking him to sleep. And what I mean by rocking him to sleep, they was telling him that everything was cool when it wasn't cool. Now, the reason why you probably thinking to yourself like, hood educated, they done whooped on him, everything should be cool, right? No, because from my understanding and what people are telling me, they saying that they was trying to tax him. They was trying to make him pay taxes because they understood that he's a superstar. He got a record deal. He's making all this money. Yeah, we got you in our world now. You got to pay us to survive in here. And he ain't want to pay. He wanted to walk the yard, the main yard, but he ain't want to pay the taxes to walk the main yard. And in California, we got to understand that, nah, they ain't playing that right there. That just, they got too much reputation to be letting somebody, one person, make them look soft, and they wasn't going for that. So the reports that I'm getting, this is what they saying, y'all. When they went into the shower, he went into the shower with his group of peoples. Now, some of y'all don't understand how the shower thing works, so allow me to elaborate on that. In the penitentiary, especially a penitentiary like California, when you go into the shower, we understand that, I'm just speaking from an inmate standpoint or a convicted felon standpoint. You understand that the shower is the most vulnerable place in the prison. But not only that, though, it's the most secretive place in the prison. It's a double-edged sword. So when you go to that shower, 9 times out of 10, you going with your gang or your peoples. In California, you not finna look in the shower and see some black people in the shower with some Mexicans unless they allies. You not finna see some white people in the shower with some black people unless they some type of allies. If they ain't allies and they enemies, sworn enemies, you gonna see all white people in the shower. You gonna see all Mexican people in the shower. You gonna see all black people in the shower separately. Ain't no, let's hold hands and kumbaya and shower together. No, ain't none of that. It's real, I don't want to say racist, but I will say it's real racial in prison. Everything is divided by your race in prison. You know what I mean? Like in the state of Minnesota, it's not that racial yet. It's racial, but it's not that racist yet. Because you still got people that will sit down and play cards with each other. They'll go in the shower and stuff like that together, unless something done happen. You know what I mean? It ain't got to that point yet. You know what I mean? But it's getting there. It's getting there. But in California, it's already set up like that. So when he went into the shower with his peoples who he thought he was safe with, they hit him. Now we got to understand something. Ain't no cameras pointing in the shower. You got grown men in there naked. They got cameras showing people going to the shower and coming out the shower, but ain't no cameras in the shower. And so that's what make it a secretive spot. That's what make it what we call in the penitentiary a blind spot. You can put in some work in the blind spot. People that know people that are in that prison told me that when they was hitting him, because it wasn't no one dude. It wasn't no, because he got stabbed in the neck. It wasn't no just one hit in the neck and then they just left. No. While they was hitting him, because it was a targeted hit, while they was hitting him, the other members in the gang continued to shower like as if nothing was happening. They ain't want to cause no attention. And everybody else that's out playing cards or doing what they was doing, they not looking in there because they understand how it go. This is how it go in the penitentiary. When you see something going down, you look the other way. You continue doing what you doing. So while they hitting him, the other members in there still showering like ain't nothing happening. Once they got done hitting him and understood that he was down, bleeding out, couldn't beg for help, couldn't run out of the shower or nothing. The guys that demonstrated the measures, the guys that did what they did, went into the shower, cleaned their body off. Because we got to understand something. They got to walk back in the public. Blood everywhere. They can't just walk out of the shower with a bloody knife, blood all on their clothes and stuff like that. They gonna know, the security gonna, hey, wait, hold on, who bleeding? Where the blood come from, right? So they said them boys showered back up, cleaned themselves up, and then all of them, the whole gang, walked out the same way that they walked up in there. And when they did a count, a lot of people don't know this, but in the penitentiary, in the state of Minnesota, they do 3 head counts. And in these head counts, you got to stand up at your cell or wherever you at, you got to stand up. And at the nighttime, you got to stand up and you got to say your name or repeat your jail number. But during the count that they was doing in California, in the prison that he was in, they was missing one. Somebody missing. They go to that cell that he's supposed to be in, he ain't there. Now, once that happens, the prison go on lockdown because instantly they think that this man done escaped. But once they get to searching the prison, they find MoneySign Suede dead in the shower room, bleeding out his neck and other places. Tried to revive him, but he died right there. So what we got now is a homicide. What happens during a homicide, they're going to shut the whole penitentiary down. They're going to do an investigation because they got to figure out, is this a racial homicide? Right? Because if it's racial, the joint going to be locked down for a minute until they get all the heavy hitters, all the, the gangbangers and everything. They got to send them to different prisons and get them up out of there, send them to the hole and all that type of stuff before they open the prison back up. Is this a gang homicide? They're going to do the same thing about that. Or is it a in-house? And what I mean by in-house, is it your own gang doing something to you? You see what I'm saying? They got to figure all that out before they open the joint back up, before they open population back up. So now, once they did that right there, figured everything out, they said that they opened the prison back up because they understood that it was an inside. And ain't nobody been charged with his murder yet. Make you think like, wow, how is that in a prison? Because they hit him in a blind spot. And it came from his own people. Like I say, if some black people did that to MoneySign Suede and he was gangbanging and he was plugged, they'll be riding and I'm talking about it'll be more killings and stabbings and stuff going on right now. Like we'll be hearing about it. But we ain't hearing about none of that. Why? Because it was in-house. It was his own people's. That's why we ain't hearing about it. And the reports that I'm getting from people that got people that's in that penitentiary, they saying that it's regular programming, like ain't nothing ever happened. Why? Because it was an inside demonstration. That's it. Now, allow me to say this right here, y'all. Unfortunate as this is and how messed up that this is, all because this young brother did not want to pay taxes. Let me tell y'all something. Stop trying to be hard if you not hard. Stop trying to walk the yard when you know that the numbers don't, you by yourself. It's a whole gang that you trying to embarrass. When I'm walking the yard and I ain't paying taxes and I ain't in no gang and all this old type of stuff. Look, go to protective custody, man. Quit playing. Especially if you an entertainer and you got money. Go on to protective custody. Quit playing. Because now that you dead and gone and stuff like that, man, you hurt people's feelings, man. You know what I mean? When you ain't got to do that, you can just go to protective custody and save your life. Now, I can only imagine that, once this young brother was, bleeding out and stuff like that, I shouldn't even been around them. I should have seen this coming. But it's too late. And as you can see by the letter, he pleading for help. He letting her be known, look, I might not make it. I don't know if I'm good with my own people. He wanted somebody to tell him, hey man, go on, go to protective custody, man. Go on, go to a what they call it, a sensitive needs yard, man. Go on and go do that right there. That way, you ain't got to worry about nothing. Unless it's like, it's real serious, because I got to keep it 100 now. If you did something so out of pocket, gangs will send somebody to the sensitive needs yard or to protective custody to hit you. If you did something that bad, they will have somebody act like they scared of the gang and all that old type of stuff and go to protective custody and befriend you just to kill you. You see what I'm saying? So now, let me say this right here to you young brothers. This is not the life, man. This is not fun. This is, I mean, like, they glorify it and they make it look fun and all that, and you throwing up your gang signs and your colors and all that old type. Oh, okay, cool. We young and we wild. I understand that. But listen, y'all, this type of stuff right here is not fun whatsoever. And this story right here that I just unfolded with y'all about this young, prominent rapper, I'm talking about, man, that was raw. I'm talking about, I like his style and everything. Kind of sound like Kodak Black. They say they used to call him Kodak Brown, but come on, man. If you know within your heart that you don't want to go through what this young man right here just went through, change your mindset and change your life. This hood educated, not lane related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think and you ain't subscribed to the channel already, please hit that subscribe button and give me a like. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Now, before I depart, allow me to give a shout out to some of the blessings that I received this week. Allow me to give a shout out to Graham for the $5 cash app. Thank you. Allow me to give a shout out to Sherry President for the $24 cash app. I appreciate all the love. Thank you guys. Once again, this is hood educated, not lane related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. And rest in peace to the brother, MoneySign Suede.